Cruise news time. And well, there's a lady out there whose head got all jacked up in the cruise spa, and it's a cautionary tale. Let's just call it that. Also, there's an update on the cruise ship that exploded, that had an explosion in Portland, Maine. Plus, Princess Cruise Line says if you're booking your cruise and trying to get a discount, well, there's one way to do it. And did you realize the Carnival Cruise Line has a spider so interesting, they own a spider, that a zoo wants to borrow it? It's giving me the creepy crawlies. There's arachnophobia on today's episode of Cruise News and My Views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your hostess with the mostest here on a Thursday, the 19th of October. I've got my cruise news and views for your face, and let's get right into it. Cruise news story number one. Let's talk about the lady who cruised on P&O Britannia. The lady, a hairdresser herself. She was enticed to go to the spa, and I want to frame this story as really kind of a cautionary tale. The spa, let me say this first. The spa on cruise ships, those are profit centers. Most of the time, the spa is not even owned or ran by the cruise ship. They're just given space to a spa company, and there's some sort of financial agreement between the cruise line and the spa company. And without any intimate knowledge of it, I would think that the more profitable the spa is on the cruise ship, the more money the cruise line gets from the spa. It seems like that would be an agreement that would be put in place. And while the spa strives to be profitable, if you've even walked by a spa, you know, because they're trying to get you. They're trying to get you to come in and buy something. They're trying to get you to come in and do a treatment. On embarkation day, there's often tours of the spa that also involve describing the treatments that you can get. And it's interesting because sometimes I wonder whether the treatments that they are offering are treatments that are really needed. Case in point, last year on our Carnival Horizon cruise, I think my mom got enticed to go to one of these spa presentations, and they told her about something like some treatment that she had to have, like, and she needed it urgently. But it was something that she had recently consulted with her doctor about, and he gave her completely opposite advice. I'm not saying there's any manipulation or anything going on, but I think when people go to the spa, they do need to remember the circumstance. You have the spa people who are trying to sell you, and you're somebody who has money that can be sold. And it's essentially that relationship. Even though the people are nice and all of that stuff, the relationship is still seller and sellee. So you got to be careful. Well, there's this lady who says that her credentials shows that she's a hair professional, and she got enticed to go to the spa, and she had a evaluation of her hair, and they told her that there was something jacked up with her hair. Like her hair wasn't, it's too dry, it's not doing the right thing, and that she needed some treatments. And so she signed up for the treatments, like 4 treatments, which is going to be beaucoup dollars, if you know what I mean, a lot of money. And she went on the first day for her first treatment, and what was odd is by dinner time, her blonde locks started to have a purple tinge from this treatment. And when she woke up the next day, she was like, I don't think my hair is supposed to be turning purple after this treatment. And they said, well, no problem. We can fix you up with another treatment. We're going to color your hair a little bit so that you will be fine. And so they colored her hair, and then her blonde locks turned brown. And well, she didn't want her hair to turn brown, so they had another treatment. They bleached her hair back blonde, and then all of a sudden she started having some irritation on her skin. And then eventually she complained that she had blisters on her skin. And look, it's kind of a convoluted story. The whole, when she complained about the treatment and how it all got resolved, there was a period where she was like, oh, this is a cruise from hell. But then there was some sort of resolution with P&O, and she went on another P&O cruise. All that stuff turned out to be some side beef that I'm not really sure how that side beef played out. It sounds like all beef has been resolved, but I thought it was a worthy story to share with you guys, just so that I could say that, remember, when you go to the spa, It's a seller and a sellee relationship. And if you allow yourself, you're going to get sold. I've done it. I went and got a haircut and ended up buying, $100 in facial exfoliating stuff that I haven't used since I got it home. I got sold. And because, that's what happens. You're on vacation and you're relaxed and it's a trust relationship, all that kind of stuff. So learn from me and learn from purple, brown, blonde haired lady that had the blisters, who's happy now and cruising, you can have a mishap at the spa. Or you could have a wonderful time. I know there's people that have had wonderful massages and all that kind of stuff. Do you have any cruise spa stories or any stories where you've ever been sold? I would love to hear that in the comments below. And yeah, don't adjust your TV. I did get my hair cut today. I still got to figure out what to do with my beard. Yeah, the problem, this is interesting, and I'm sure some people will relate. When I was younger, I used to wear my hair long. I was a long-haired kid, teenager, right? And now I wear a short haircut, and to maintain a short haircut, it's more complicated than a long haircut, which you wouldn't think that would be the case. But if I want my hair to look like this, which I like it, this might not be everybody's favorite haircut, but I like this haircut. But I really need to get this haircut once a week to make it look like this, because if it goes 10 days or 2 weeks, it doesn't look like this. So, I'm happy though. A new person cut my hair. I got to get back to a consistent person. My consistent person changed her career, and so now I am consistent person less when it comes to hair cutteries. Cruise news story number 2. We talked about the deuce. The deuce was loose yesterday on a cruise ship, which you don't want. Cruise news story number 2 today. Let's circle back for an update on the explosion on the Ocean Navigator that was docked there in Portland, Maine. First, a correction. Yesterday in the show, I said that the Ocean Navigator was part of the American Cruise Line fleet. That was incorrect. The Ocean Navigator, a part of the American Queen cruise fleet. But the story is essentially the same. We've had some confirmation from American Queen. What happened is there was an issue with a generator in the engine room. It exploded. There was a crew member that was burnt and had to go to a local hospital for treatment. All of the passengers unharmed. They were evacuated from the cruise ship. That cruise ship was set to overnight in Portland yesterday and then leave today on Thursday. Passengers stayed in a hotel last night, and the latest that I've seen is that they are still investigating. They're still inspecting that ship, that vessel, to make sure that it's seaworthy so that they can continue on. But if everything works out the way it's supposed to, then the Ocean Navigator is supposed to leave Portland, Maine today. I'll have to check and see if that ship's on ShipMapper. That way tomorrow I can tell if the ship has moved on. But I know a few of you guys are out there in Portland. Of course, our friend Leah's in Portland. So if you see that that ship is moved away, maybe leave a comment below. Thank you in advance. All right. Cruise news story number 3. Princess Cruise Line has announced that they've made a major change in the way that they are pricing their cruises. Now, look, I always kind of thought it was an urban myth, but maybe there was some truth to it, that you could wait until close to cruise day before you booked your cruise. The thought process is that the cruise ships would have unsold inventory if you got lucky, and because that inventory was unsold, that you would get a cabin for a cheap price. And, I think I've kind of done that. I mean, I've booked a cruise a week out before. Last year on the Carnival Liberty, I booked a cruise a week before the cruise and got like a $300 4-day cruise because it was there, right? It was unbooked. Well, Princess is coming out and saying, hey, we know that people do that. This could just be a marketing ploy, to be fair, but they did come out and say, look, the days of getting a cheap cruise right before the cruise are over. So don't be waiting around to book your cruise. If you want the best price on a cruise for 2024 and 2025, book it now. Book it. That's what makes me feel like it's marketing, because they did include that language. If you want the best price, book it now. Book it now. They're also putting in a price guarantee, like a low price guarantee. I'm not exactly sure how that works. That's something to investigate if you're going on Princess Cruises. So they're saying, much like Ludacris did, that the times they are a-changing. So if you are a just before the cruise booker, you'll probably pay more than somebody that's booked 2 years out. Book it now. Book it now. Book it now. Either way, it's important stuff because we all want to book the cheapest cruise possible. Are you willing to reveal your secrets? What do you do to get the cheapest cruise possible? Leave a comment below. Now, did you guess the 3 cruise ports for yesterday's show? I put a little trickery in there on you. I mean, really, you could have probably just said 2 names to have guessed it. But the first one, of course, from the iconic Sydney sail away, Sydney, Australia. The second cruise port related to the show yesterday was from Portland, Maine. That's where we went just recently, did some lobstering with my friend Don. Do we look like lobstermen? And then finally, well, it was another Sydney, this time Sydney, Nova Scotia, the world's largest fiddle, y'all. All you need is hands big enough to play it. And a lot of people got them right. A lot of people got them wrong too. I love some of these answers. But one person that got it right early on in the day was Lynette Edsall. Sydney, Australia, Portland, Maine, Sydney, Nova Scotia. Way to go, Lynette. Congratulations. You guys will have another chance to guess cruise ports today. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show and put your guess in the pinned comment. That's where I'm looking if you want to be highlighted on the show. Now, I got to tell you about this spider that Carnival Cruise Lines is intending to loan to a zoo. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. I did a survey. This is what all the cool kids are doing. They're subscribing to Lido, Loca. So if you want street cred, if you'd like some street cred, or even if you're in a community with people of your own age, I also heard that you get golf cart cred. So street cred, golf cart cred, and big brain. All you got to do is subscribe, notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on these episodes. Here you go. The spider that Carnival Cruise Line is loaning to the zoo in Sydney, Australia. It's an inflatable spider. It's not a tarantula or a daddy long legs or a black widow. It's just, I didn't even know they had this. I think maybe this inflatable spider had shown up on a cruise ship before. Carnival does a great job at decorating for Halloween, and Sydney is having a big kids event. Sydney Zoo is having a big kids event the 27th through the 29th, and there is a partnership between Carnival Cruise Line and the Sydney Zoo. Not only do they sponsor like Miami Pro teams and New York Jets, but they also do a little sponsorship with the Sydney Zoo. And so now the kids will be happy to see this 2-story inflatable spider. Not this spider, but some spiders freak me out. How about you? Are you ready to guess the cruise ports? Hope you enjoyed the show today. Show your support. Hit the like button. It's Tony for Lido, Loca. Till the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. And, well, the geography quiz begins now.